Have you ever wondered what horrors lurk in the dark corners of space? What secrets the universe is hiding beyond the reach of our telescopes and satellites? Tonight, we uncover 10 horrifying things scientists actually found in space. Things that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the cosmos. From mysterious signals that sound like whispers to planets that appear alive and creatures no human mind is ready to comprehend. Each discovery is stranger, darker, more terrifying than the last. You will not want to blink, because once you see these horrors, you cannot unsee them. Watch till the end, if you dare, to discover the truth about the universe hiding just beyond our reach. The signal came from beyond Neptune. A faint echo, cold, mechanical, repeating in a rhythm that resembled a heartbeat. Dr. Elias pressed his headphones closer, the hiss of static filling his ears. For hours, he sat in the dark observatory, surrounded by the hum of ancient machines. Suddenly, the pattern shifted. A whisper of sound emerged. Not static, not random. It was a voice, a low murmur that crawled across the frequencies, speaking in a language no human tongue could form. The walls seemed to close in around him. Each syllable stretched like claws across his nerves. He felt his breath grow shallow. The lights flickered. The computers began to type on their own, streams of numbers cascading faster than his eyes could follow. The coordinates appeared, a place in the dark between galaxies. Dr. Elias leaned forward, trembling. He thought he saw something moving across the screen. A shape, long, skeletal, watching, waiting, and then silence. The entire observatory fell into a suffocating stillness. The voice was gone, but Elias could still feel it. Inside his skull, inside the silence itself, as if space had spoken directly to him and left something behind. Something alive, something waiting for him to answer. Elias staggered back from the console. His chair scraped against the floor with a shriek that echoed too loud in the empty observatory. The numbers still glowed faintly on the monitor, pulsing like veins beneath glass. He tried to steady his hands, but they shook uncontrollably. The air felt heavier, as if gravity itself had thickened. He forced himself to breathe, but each inhale carried the taste of metal, sharp and bitter like blood in the mouth. Then he saw it. A new file had appeared on the desktop. No one had typed it. No one had saved it. The title read, First Discovery. With a trembling finger, he opened it. The screen erupted with an image. A photograph. At first glance, it was only darkness. But slowly, his eyes adjusted to the grainy outline. There was something floating in space. Not a rock. Not a comet. It was a body. Human. Frozen. The skin stretched thin. The mouth wide open as if screaming forever in silence. Elias felt his heart pound against his ribs. The date in the corner of the photograph froze him cold. It was taken 5 years before the first human left Earth's orbit. He stared at the face. The hollow eyes seemed to stare back, unblinking, accusing. And then, beneath the photo, new words began to type themselves. Slow, methodical. This was only the first. Elias's fingers froze above the keyboard. The words on the screen seemed to burn themselves into his vision. He swallowed hard, tasting fear as it coated his tongue. A new file appeared immediately beneath the first. It was labeled Second Discovery. With dread clawing at his chest, he opened it. A video began to play. At first, it was just blackness. Then a faint glow appeared. A planet, or something that looked like a planet. Its surface was not rock or ice, but flesh. Pulsing, moving, veins crisscrossed like rivers of fire. A monstrous heartbeat echoed through the audio. The camera, if it could even be called that, shook violently as though held by something alive. Shadows crawled across the planet's surface, shapes too enormous and twisted to be natural. And then a sound, a low, guttural hum, filled the room. Not from his speakers, from inside his skull. Elias fell back in his chair. The room spun. He could feel the pulse of that living planet, synchronized with his own heartbeat. And suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness on the video. Tall, thin, with limbs that bent impossibly. It raised one long, spindly hand, and in that instant, Elias swore it was looking at him. Directly at him. The screen went black. But the hum did not stop. It lingered, growing louder. Waiting. Elias could not move. The hum vibrated through his bones. The room had grown colder, the shadows deeper, curling like fingers across the walls. Then another file appeared, labeled Third Discovery. He hesitated. Every instinct screamed to stop. But curiosity, terrifying, irresistible, won. He clicked. The screen filled with a star map. But these were not ordinary stars. Each one pulsed with a faint, sickly green light. As Elias watched, a single point began moving. Faster than any comet, any known object. It darted across the void, leaving a trail of black behind it. And then the object stopped, in the exact location of Earth. A warning blinked beneath it. Do not look away. The hum became a chorus of whispers. Thousands of voices, overlapping, speaking in tones humans were never meant to hear. Elias's vision blurred. He felt his body tingle, as if tiny needles were crawling under his skin. And then the stars themselves seemed to shift, reforming, into a shape, a face, gigantic, alien, unfathomable. Its eyes were voids that pulled at his mind, erasing memories, replacing them with visions of empty planets and screaming voids. Elias tried to scream. No sound came, and then the screen went black. A single line of text appeared. You are next. Elias's breath came in sharp, ragged gasps. The warning on the screen burned itself into his mind. He felt the room close in, the shadows pressing closer, heavier. Another file appeared, labeled Fourth Discovery. His hand hovered over the mouse, shaking uncontrollably. He clicked. The screen filled with images. Thousands of spacecraft, drifting silently in space. But they were not human. Each one was broken, torn apart. Yet inside each wreck, something moved. Something alive. Eyes. Hundreds of tiny glowing eyes staring from the darkness of twisted metal. Then the images shifted. A massive creature, larger than any planet, floating among the stars. Its body was translucent. Inside, hundreds of human shapes twisted and writhed, as if trapped in a nightmare. The hum returned, louder, deeper, pulsing with each of Elias's heartbeats. He felt his stomach drop as a new sensation gripped him. The images were no longer on the screen. They were around him. He could feel the gaze of those creatures, crawling into his mind, whispering secrets of a universe no human was meant to hear. Elias realized with horror, these were not discoveries of the past. They were warnings. And now, they had found him. Elias's hands clutched the edge of the desk. The whispers had become screams inside his mind. His eyes darted around the observatory, but nothing moved, or so he thought. A new file appeared, labeled Fifth Discovery. He hesitated, every nerve screaming to turn away. Curiosity, stronger than fear, forced him to click. The screen flickered. A live feed appeared from deep space. A spacecraft, long abandoned by human explorers, floated near a distant nebula. But inside, the crew was gone, completely gone, except for their shadows. Dark, twisted imprints on the walls and floors. They moved, independently, like memories try to escape the vessel. Then the camera swung outside. The nebula pulsed with colors that should not exist. And from within it, something emerged. A mass of tangled, writhing shapes. Tentacles, eyes, mouths, all fused together. It drifted toward the spacecraft. Slowly, deliberately. And then the feed went black. A single word appeared on the screen. Observe. Elias's heart pounded as the words seemed to echo through the room, vibrating through his bones. He realized, with a shiver that ran from his scalp to his toes, that space was not empty. It was watching, and it had plans. Elias slumped in his chair. The files stopped appearing. The hum faded, leaving a ringing in his ears. He blinked. The observatory was quiet. Too quiet. For a moment, he thought it was over. Then the screen flickered one last time. A single line of text appeared. We are always here. He stared at it. The words were not typed. They were etched into his mind. And in that instant, he understood. Space did not belong to humans. It had never been empty. It had always been alive. watching, waiting, and every discovery, every signal, every horror he had seen was only a glimpse of the unimaginable truths lurking in the void. Elias shut his laptop. The cold hum of the universe settled around him, and as he walked out of the observatory, he could not shake the feeling that countless eyes followed him. Invisible, eternal, and he knew he would never be the same again. The universe had whispered its secrets, and he had listened.